Warm greetings in Christ. My name is Michael Burrows. I'm the Bishop of Cashel, Ferns and Ossory in the Church of Ireland, but I also have the joy of being the chair of the International Board of Governors of the Anglican Centre in Rome, a marvellous and fascinating band of people from many provinces who, along with our staff, led by our wonderful Rome-based director, Archbishop Jan Ernest, see to the affairs and governance and unique work of the centre. And we are, as you will know from other material on this site and elsewhere, we are at this time launching an urgent appeal in order to ensure the sustainability and continuity of our work. And I don't want to add to what is said about that urgency in other material you can readily read and view. I simply want to add a personal testimony about why for me as one Anglican, the centre is something that I can feel not just enthusiastic but passionate about. I suppose I've almost been brought up on the reputation and the work of the Anglican Centre. It's many years, I wouldn't like to say how long since I was a child, but when I was a child, we had, when I was growing up, a family friend who was at the time, in the immediate aftermath of Vatican II, an Irish representative on the governors of the centre in its early days. And I remember overhearing with attentive enthusiasm his traveller's tales of the vision and the importance of this work. And I was enthused and I longed to go there and experience it all. And later, as a student, I paid the first of many visits and took a course there and entered for the first time that wonderful palace where the centre is located and which is made available to the governors on such generous terms. And like many international pilgrims, the moment I walked in, I never lost that sense of how the ACR seemed to fling around me its hospitable arms. Three things, I think, I could mention many, but three, rather like sermons, things that I'd want to identify make me continue to be hugely passionate about the work of the Anglican Centre. First of all, we're all creatures of our context and culture wherever we come from. I'm an Irish bishop. I'm sure many people in many lands will be aware of the long and complicated history of Anglican Roman Catholic and Protestant Catholic relationships in this land where I belong, how they have been in the past difficult and in a most challenging way textured issues of politics and peace and identity. And yet in my lifetime, since Vatican II especially, and as a result of the kind of conversation and networking and trust building of which the Anglican Centre is a microcosm, relationships between Anglicans and Roman Catholics here in Ireland, as we both pursue a common mission, have turned from nervousness and sometimes mistrust and aloofness into deep partnership and mutual affection and a desire to learn from each other spiritually. It has been a miracle. Secondly, I am, if anything, in my background, a student of history. And I suppose I'm aware that for many centuries, long before modern technology, and modern technology has superseded none of this, Rome, the Vatican, the ambience of the Curia, has been an extraordinary place of international conversation and learning where people meet and talk and exchange, not just about theology, but about politics and affairs. We need to be part of that conversation. If you're not there, you can't join in. And the Anglican Centre in Rome provides a unique focus for Anglican contribution to and benefiting from the unique conversations on such a range of human and spiritual affairs that are associated with the eternal city, and therefore we see the centre very much as an ambassadorial place, not just on behalf of the Archbishop of Canterbury, but on behalf of all Anglicans in Rome. And thirdly, and especially recently, we have learned the meaning of receptive ecumenism, of which the Anglican Centre is a beacon. Instead of defining ourselves over and against each other, instead of emphasising difficulties, what we now emphasise is how we walk together towards a common goal in an often challenging world, and how we can learn from the strengths of others in order to enrich and strengthen ourselves, and how we must emphasise what we can give to the strengthening of the other's tradition. Mutual receptivity has become the way of ecumenism, that sense of needing others in order to be whole ourselves. So for these reasons, and for many others, I feel it a joy to be so much part of the work of the Anglican Centre. I feel truly passionate about it. Any threat to its continued existence would be an undermining of so much that we hold dear. So please read the material carefully, respond prayerfully and generously. Join in our online visibility, and in particular, someday, if you haven't before, experience our hospitality on location in Rome when travel becomes easier. Thank you for listening to us and for taking an interest in what we are striving to do. And may the Anglican Centre, for many generations yet, go from strength to strength in order to pursue that wonderful unity, which is both the Lord's gift and his will. And may the Lord bless you all.